Right, it's I thought it's about midnight. Don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it's been absolutely lashing it down for the last few hours. On today's adventure, I was in one of Scotland's highest mountain ranges, and as you can see, the weather wasn't looking very good, and as I approached the high point of the route, the wind was whistling round the cairn and things were a little bit damp. Oh wee, I tell you what, don't know if you'll pick it up in the microphone, but it's a bit wild. It's a bit breezy. I've lost this hat nearly a few times. And I'm heading for a wild camp today. Now, I'm not going to be staying up here on the tops. At the moment, I'm at about 1150 metres there or thereabout at this big cairn. Some of you might recognise this, but the weather's actually deteriorating, and I knew that because I checked the forecast, so I'm not planning on staying at this elevation. I'm going to try and drop down, and I'm actually going to see if I can get a nice sandy bay to do a wild camp on. So I'm keen to drop down out of this cloud and out of this wind, so I'm going to crack on and I'll report back in a wee while. Let's go. Woo. So I left the high point and descended into the mist. And to get to this camping spot that I was going to today, you do have to work for it. You have to head up over this high pass to drop down into the loch, or alternatively walk a long way round the mountain to reach these lovely sandy bays. But before long, I was descending out of the mist and was finally getting some views of my destination. Right, hi folks. I'm now out of the clag. Hurrah, look behind me. I'm coming down the steep gorge path, and down behind me, I don't know if you'll see it, is a loch. And there actually is some sandy bays where I was about there, which I'm hoping to get to, but yeah, there's a few scrambly bits on this path, this waterfall here. If you've been watching my videos for a wee while, you'll have seen me come down here before. And I've always said this would be interesting in the winter, but anyway. Yeah, as I said, it's nice to get out the clag, so I'm going to head down, skirt round the side of the hill and see if I can find any pitches to get the tent up. It's, what time are we at now? Hold on. Oh, yeah, just after 7. So I've got about an hour and a half till sunset. It's very claggy, so it might get darker sooner, so I'm keen to get down there and pitched up. So yeah, let's get down and see if we can find some nice sandy bays to pitch the tent. Let's go. After scrambling down the waterfall and down the gully, I was heading along the side of the loch and soon found the first sandy beach. There was a couple of other wild campers there, but there was plenty of space. I think with the weather forecast being so bad, it wasn't as busy as it might be on a summer evening. Anyway, I soon found a lovely spot that I was going to pitch the tent at, and it was time to get that big backpack off, get the tent out, all my accessories, and start getting the tent up before it got too dark. With the clouds being in and the weather not looking so good, it was going to get dark pretty quickly, so I was keen to get set up so I was all ready for the night ahead. It can always be a bit tricky pitching on a sandy beach because you don't have the ground or the grass to put your stakes or pegs into, and you often have to find some rocks. And then, as I said, this is a popular spot, and there was lots of rocks that had been left here that were already on the bay, which I used to hold the tent down. This tent does have cross poles, which I could have used actually, which allows it to be freestanding, but I didn't have them with me, so yeah, got the tent up, and then it was time to get the sleeping pad sorted and my sleeping bag before thinking about tea. There we go. Right. Well, what a place this is. Oh man, I'm feeling it now, I must admit. What time are we at? 8 o'clock, so half an hour until the sun, well, the sunset, but I'll get dark pretty quickly because it's pretty clagged in. And as I mentioned before, there's rain on its way tonight. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't rain too much. It's not forecast to be thunderstorms or anything, so I'm hoping these loch levels don't rise too much. I'm pretty sure they won't, but I'll keep an eye on it, let's put it that way. But what a place this is. So this is Loch Ann behind me. Don't know if you can make it out, stretching down behind me, and then behind the camera, I'll cut to some footage now, is this amphitheatre. The shelter stone is just up there. I'm not going to go up and give you a tour. What I'll do is, I'll put a link in the video before where I went up to the shelter stone and went in and did a wee tour. So if you want to see the shelter stone, go and check that video out. But yeah, it's just a fantastic, very atmospheric place. So I'm going to shut up now. Yeah, I need to get my tea on before it's dark. And there's a couple of things that I've forgotten that I'm so annoyed about. It was such a rush leaving this weekend to get up here. There's a couple of things which is going to make my camp a little bit less enjoyable, but not that much. But I'll report back on those later on. Right, let's get some tea. So having got the tent set up, it was soon time to get things ready for dinner. And one of the advantages of this camp and any camp next to fresh water is you don't have to travel too far to get your water supply. Sometimes when you're camping on the summits or on a ridge, you have to carry all your water up, which can add considerable weight. There wasn't an issue here, and there was plenty of fresh water all ready for me to collect for cooking my tea. Oh, it's annoying. Well, this is just lovely. I've just had my my dinner, which was chicken tikka, back to my old favourite, and I tell you what, it tasted good. And I don't know if I've said where I am, but I'm in the heart of the Cairngorms, and this is a quite a well-known area, and there are a few other people camping in some of the other beaches. There's two other tents that I've seen, but there's enough beaches, enough bays to space out, so they're nowhere near me, and you do get this lovely feeling of solitude here. And behind me, there's, as I said, there's a Shelterstone and Shelterstone Crag, and if you keep on going up that way, there's a path that takes you up towards the northern corries, and yeah, it's just lovely. There's loads of Munros round about here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any today. Ben Vane, I did, as I said, I'll put a link in the description to that one when I did come up and investigate the Shelterstone and went up Ben Vane. But the weather is on the slide. It's getting colder. I've noticed a dip in the temperature as the light's starting to fade. You probably think, you know, the camera's probably making it look lighter than it is, but it's actually getting quite dark now. And I think the rain isn't too far away. So I'm going to go and chill in the tent, and I'll report back in a wee while once I've got the whiskey open, and I'll tell you what I've forgotten. And I'll also give you another insight to why I'm here and why I'm doing this in a wee while. But at the moment I'm just going to enjoy the last of the light. It's very, very atmospheric. Lovely. Oh, right folks, it's almost dark now, and I can start to feel the first few spots of rain coming out of the sky, so I thought I'd do a bit to camera here before it gets any heavier, because that camera won't be staying out in the rain when it comes on. And as I said before, I'm in the Cairngorms, but the reason I came is I knew the weather was to be rainy tonight and overnight, and this is actually, although it looks identical, this is a new tent. And it was seam sealed in the factory. They did that for me very kindly, but it's 4 years since I got it actually, so I re-seam sealed it, and I've also sprayed it with waterproof stuff and permethrin. So anyway, I wanted to test out, and I've got a few other things I needed to test out that are new. I've got a new water filter, which I must say I'm very, very impressed with. A lot better than the old one. I've got a new tripod for my camera. Oh, lots of new gear, and the reason being is I've been invited along on a multi-day trek. I think it's going to take six or 7 days to do, and that's happening next week or the week after next. So this is the last weekend I had a chance to come out and test the gear. So yeah, it's just been a case of getting everything ready for this big trek, and there'll be more about that in the coming, I don't know, the coming vlogs, coming weeks. I don't know when it'll be out. It might be out towards the end of the year. So it's going to take me a long time to edit it, providing I can do it. I'm a bit apprehensive, to be honest with you, because I've never done a trek more than 2 or 3 days. Anyway, yeah, yeah, even in its own right, this is just a fantastic spot. I'm almost thinking I might come back here when the weather's better. But if you are thinking of coming here, just be wary. The path down is very scrambly, and in the winter, for sure, it'd be a major expedition to get here because you're quite high up. I'm not sure of the exact elevation of this loch. I'm going to say about 600 metres. I'll put it up here once I check it and edit it and put it there so you can see how high we are. So in the winter, this is sometimes all frozen over and it's just snowing. A pretty desolate place. Anyway, I've got some whiskey. The things that I did forget. I forgot my blooming coffee. Oh, I'm going to be so disappointed in the morning. And I forgot my pillow. I was just in such a rush to get out the door this afternoon. But anyway, I'll just have to do without. I do have some peanuts and I do have some whiskey, so I'm going to get cracked into them, and I'll maybe report back later. If not, you'll see me in the morning. And hopefully everything's withstood the test of the elements. Right, some whiskey. So I spent the evening just chilling in the tent and enjoying my whiskey, and before long, as night drew in, I started to hear more and more of those spatters of rain hitting the tent. It was going to be a long, wet night. Right, it's I thought it was about midnight. Don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it's been absolutely lashing it down for the last few hours. But yeah, I'm still dry, don't see any puddles. The old tent seems to be, yeah, holding firm. That all that waterproofing and seam sealing seems to have worked. Yeah, the only thing is it's kind of keeping me awake. There's kind of gusty winds every now and again coming down. But yeah, it's absolutely hammering it down. Oh, I hope it's not like this in the morning. Don't fancy walking out in the rain. Mind you, it's forecast to rain through the night and then off in the morning. Anyway, let's see if I can try and get some sleep. Right. Oh, lights out. Oh. Morning, folks. Time is 7 o'clock. I've been up for about half an hour and it's still raining. It's not as heavy as it was through the night. It was really chucking it down through the night, so it's a good test for the tent. There's no I've not woken up in a pool of water, so let me just sap a wee bit. Let's save my back. There we go. You can probably see me now. There we go. So yeah, it was quite windy and really quite wet during the night, and I did wake up quite a lot. I didn't sleep very well. On a wee bit of a slope, even though I'm on a sandy bay, I could have maybe pitched the tent a bit better, but I didn't have much time last night. It was a bit of a rush before it got dark. So usually at this point I say that I'm going to get some caffeine and get some coffee, but yeah, I didn't bring any with me, which was a schoolboy error. So I think I'm going to get up, I'm going to put my waterproofs on from the start, I think, and then just straight camp, and then head back. And I'm just going to go back the way I came. I don't think I'm going to go, unless I open the tent up and the clouds clear and the sun comes out and it stops raining. I don't think I'm going to go up any mountains. I'm just going to go back over the high pass, which takes me back up to about 1150 metres, to the point where I did a bit to camera yesterday at the Cairn. That's the high point, away up there. So yeah, that's the plan of action. So I just need to motivate myself to get out of this nice warm sleeping bag and get changed. Oh. So I eventually pulled myself out of that sleeping bag and got changed and ventured outside, and the rain definitely wasn't as heavy or as constant as it'd been the night before, and it was more showery in nature now. So I took the time when it wasn't raining just to take in the surroundings before getting ready to pack up and head back over the pass and back to the car. It was a very atmospheric morning. Right, that's just about me, and I've cleaned everything up, leave no trace as always, and it's time to head back. The pack's a wee bit lighter because I've used all the water up and all my food, so it's always a wee bit lighter for heading back. But yeah, what an amazing location this is. Well worth the visit. As I said, it's usually quite busy. It's probably quieter at the moment because well, the weather's pants. It's not very good, but there are a couple of other wild campers around. But there's plenty of bays. There's some further off the beaten track down that way as well if you're thinking of coming here. But what a lovely place to be, even in this kind of misty, manky, rainy, windy weather. So yeah, I'm going to saddle the backpack now and head back over the pass, it could be quite gnarly up there because if it's windy down here, it's going to be super windy. Another 600 or 700 metres up. So yeah, let's go for that. Just as this rain comes in, I can see it coming towards me. Yeah, let's get going. Oh, it's a bit misty up here. Right, I've come up the gorge, across the waterfall, and I'm, as expected, back into the Clag. And it's, yeah, the rain's been coming and going. It's off at the moment, but the Clag's in. It's quite atmospheric. I was going to tell you a story about the big grey man of Ben McDooey, and a story I read about the shelter stone, about folk being spooked in there, which wasn't far away from where I slept, but I'll maybe keep that for another day. I didn't get spooked last night, it was fine. The only thing I was worried about was rising water levels, which never happened. Anyway, there's a lovely path now, I don't know if you can see it behind me there, and over here, over my shoulder, is actually a Munro, or a mountain that gives this range its name. It's Cairngorms Mountain, and I'm not going to go up it today because I don't see the point. I've been up it, I don't know, lots and lots and lots before. In fact, the last time I was up it was, we're at the end of the summer now, I don't know when this video will come out, but in September last year I went up here and the conditions were slightly different. I'll cut to some footage of that trip. That just highlights how fickle the weather in Scotland can be, because it certainly wasn't green on that September day. Anyway, right, a wee bit further to go, then I'll be dropping down to the car, but this will be the last piece to camera. So thanks very much for watching, if you've made it this far. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Right, let's get cracked on up to the pass and down to the car. Woo.